Hey guys, welcome back to another video with your girl, Midnight Alien. Today I'm going to be trying Fox Feline's 10 challenge and redrawing the Toko from Ni No Kuni. So to start off, of course, I needed to get my sketch. So I did that and I decided that I made the arms kind of too long, so I did change those later. And I kind of really like the design I made for the little ear things with kind of little leaves. I don't know, I just really like that. Now the staff was a lot of trouble for me because as you can see in the reference picture, it's not just a circle with the little thing on top, but I had a lot of struggle with it, although I did kind of like the little swirly thing I gave on top of it. I really wanted to add a mouth to the Toko because I thought that I couldn't make it look lightheaded and aloof enough as the reference picture without a mouth. But to stay true to the original design, I decided to not add a mouth and just leave it how it is. I then began with the line art. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble with the staff, so as you can see, a lot of the original ideas I had for it, I just didn't like. And I also didn't like how I made the Toko's arm just go straight out past the staff, because it looked like nothing was holding the staff up. So I also changed that in the line art later, so it looked like the Toko had its little arm, hand things around the staff. I tried to keep the colors mostly the same, but I think that the green I used was a little too bright green, but I was having a lot of trouble finding the exact right color green or color green close enough. The rest of the coloring was pretty easy since it's a pretty easy color palette. I did try to keep where the shading is and how the shading is done the same as the reference picture, because after all, I'm not redrawing it completely with a different setting and everything. I'm just drawing it in my style. Now that I'm done with the actual drawing, I decided to go the extra mile and do the background too. I colored the sand and then of course I had to add the little grass bits, so I did that too. I used a lot of different techniques for the grass because just using the normal color, I guess, wouldn't work, so I used the fade pen, I messed around with the opacity, I did the airbrush, and I think after all of that, it finally kind of turned out normalish looking and looked good enough. Of course, I didn't want to leave the large grass pieces just like that, so I blended them out too. Next, I of course had to do the ocean in the background. The ocean was pretty easy since I just used a bland blue color because it didn't really have a lot of different colors in the ocean. Oh, I also had to do the sky, of course. I kind of just winged it for the islands. I did 2 little sand-colored mountains, I guess, and then the same color green. But when I looked back at the reference picture, I realized that the islands they're not next to each other like that, and they're further apart. Oh, yeah, okay, but also, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're at the edge of the water. They're not, like, right next to where the Toko's standing, so I also got that wrong. Of course, I touched up the also pretty bland blue sky and added some white clouds with an airbrush, and with that, I thought it was looking pretty close to the reference picture, except for one thing. I did think it still looked pretty bland and two-dimensional, so I added Toko's shadow. Make sure to like and subscribe for more, and with that, midnight out.